welcome to the GenX Glam Gab channel here on YouTube. It is fantastic to see everyone, whether you're just finding the channel or you're coming back. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I know there are billions of channels to choose from, and you're hanging out with me in my tiny little corner of YouTube. I appreciate you. Today we're doing a get ready with me using some of my Makeup Forever products, including the star of the show, a stellar, it's in the packaging, Artist Color Pencil Stellar set from Makeup Forever. It's 5 mini lip liners in beautiful shades. If you haven't tried Makeup Forever lip liners yet, this is a great place to start. This tiny little kit here, because they are 5 outstanding colors. I like the word stellar. I personally use the word stellar. I give my stamp of approval on them using the word stellar set, because this is truly a stellar set. We're going to get into it. I've paired these lip liners up with some of the lippies from my own collection. So you're going to get to see a lot of different lippies highlighted from my collection that I've paired up. I don't know. I'm not a guru, but I did my best. I also pulled out some of my other Makeup Forever products. Not that I have a ton, but I thought that we could build a little bit of a base. However, down in this area, we're going to be doing a lot of removing because there are 5 mini pencils in this kit. So down here, I don't know if I'm going to focus on putting on much, but let's get to some skincare and let's do a little bit of color correcting and get some base going like around here, because I'm going to be leaning in quite a bit to show you what's going on with these lip liners. So I don't want to come in too frightening. So let's start with some summer. This is Summer Fridays. Now, I don't own any Summer Fridays skincare, but I did get this little bundle set, like with my latest Sephora order. And I've heard good things. Amy made a comment. Lovely Amy said she likes Summer Fridays. I think a lot of people do. I just haven't personally gotten into it. Before I do that, let's do a little spray. Let's use my new Lumine. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Recently bought this brand's out of Finland's advent calendar. Lots of great skincare and makeup products in it. And I have been slowly but surely testing these things out. I really like this spray. I think it smells lovely, first of all. Sometimes I wish that you guys could get the scents that I've got going on here when I'm at my glam station, because that has a very lovely, clean scent to it. It's a very sustainable brand named after a lake somewhere in the central areas of Finland. But it does give a nice, refreshing. I like to use a little spritz before I start my makeup. I don't know about you, but let's just let that's very nice. All right, back to Summer Fridays. What do I have? I have a serum and I have a moisturizer. So we're going in with it. We're going to go in with the serum, skipping the toner today. Wow, that feels very lotion-esque for a serum. But it says it's a jet lag deep hydration serum. That's really interesting. I am used to serums. It's going on very thin. I'm used to serums being a little bit like, okay, milky, yeah, or just more, I don't know, clear. So this is really nice. Let me go underneath my chin. Like I said, the star of the show today is the Makeup Forever lip liner bundle that I recently bought on Sephora. I can't tell you if it's still there or not. I think that it is, but don't quote me. It was a great deal, $36. And you get to try 5 of their shades, including Anywhere Caffeine, which is one of their shades that really plays well with lots of different hues, right? And that's in there. I feel like that alone is worth it. It's heavy on the browns. It's heavy on the browns. There's one berry sort of shade hue going on in there, but brown is in. Everybody likes a brown lip liner. I've always liked brown lip liner. Especially in the 90s, it was like a really big like trend, right? Gen Xer right here. So I was really personally excited to get this bundle because I am a very big fan of brown. Hello, brown eyes, dirty blonde, light brown hair. Always loved the color brown. Libra, fall colors, brown. Anyway, all right, let's let that serum sit in. I feel like that gave me a little bit of a glow. It feels really nice. I'm anxious to see if it's going to pill with anything that we have coming after it, but we really need to crank through whatever it is of a base I'm going to do, because we need some time to put on 5 different lip liners wipe them off, like wipe and repeat. So let me just pat that in. Congratulations while I'm patting that in to the latest GenX Glam Gab winner of a very nice P. Louise palette and a tiny bit of skincare thrown in giveaway to Emily D. I'm waiting for her to email me at genxglamgiveaway@gmail.com or hook up with me on Discord. All right, let's see. That's patted in enough. We're going in now with the Summer Fridays. This is a 10 milliliter Rich Cushion Cream, ultra plumping and moisturizing. Let's give it a try. Now this is much thicker. So that serum, that jet lag relief serum, I thought when I put it on like this, it was, wow, that's kind of thick for a serum, but it really did just blend right into my skin. It was not thick, whereas this is definitely much thicker, feeling much more like a moisturizer. So let's just get this down. Again, I'm going to focus more on, from here up, because when I'm coming down here to start highlighting some of these lip liners from Makeup Forever, I got to be wiping them off. So we're just going to be, it doesn't make sense to spend any time building a base pretty much below my nose contour area, because it's going to be wiped off. But I'm not going to neglect my neck. Those of us with vintage skin, we should, gosh, this feels really nice. Amy, you're right. Oh, wow. I guess I've been sleeping on this. This feels really, really nice. But yeah, let's not neglect our neck, ladies. Those of us that have our vintage skin. And even if you don't have vintage skin, if you're a spring chicken, don't neglect your neck. That was a tip that was passed down from generations to generations in my family. I've known for a very long time not to neglect the neck. Wow, that is a really nice moisturizer. Not gonna lie. All right, let's let that sit. What did I pull out from Makeup Forever? Wow, let me show you. I pulled out the All Over Face palette, which is really a fun palette. As you can see, I've dug into it. It's got lots of different shades going on here. I thought I could get into a little bit of it, tiny bit of it. I have like a tiny little Makeup Forever like duo shadow slash cheek powder. Thought about that. I also have this fantastic Makeup Forever HD Skin Hydra Glow, and I want to say this actually has SPF in it too. Although I don't see it on here, I feel like it has a 30 SPF. I really like this. It gives you like a nice medium coverage. Haven't used it for a while, but I pulled it out because it fits the bill for today's video in the sense that we're looking at some Makeup Forever. All right, did we let it sit enough? Probably not, but let's go in and do a little bit of color correcting. I'm gonna go in with my Guerlain, like light wand. Here it is here. I purchased this before I left Canada because I really, really like it, and I used some bonus points to cash in. It's in the shade 1.5. It's not cheap. Guerlain, nothing from Guerlain is cheap. But I really do like, it's a very skin-like concealer. Really, really, really like it. I'm going to go in, and it's a nice shade match for me. One of my buddies that worked at Shoppers Drug Mart, I did during one of the mingles, during one of the beauty mingle seasons that was going on. Boy, I miss those. I wish I was there now so I could enter into the fall or winter mingle, whatever they're at, and those fantastic giveaways they do, and all the proceeds go to support women's health in Canada. It's such a win-win. Anyway, during one of the mingles, one of my fave reps there did a makeover on me, and she used this concealer from Guerlain, and I really, really liked it. And so I'm happy with the shade match because somebody else picked it out for me, so the pressure wasn't on me to do it. Boy, it's really, let me tell you, it is really hard not to go down in this area because I'm so used to hitting certain spots in my face when I do my color correction. But let's see how it goes. Let's let it sit for a minute. Boy, it is really nice though. Let's blend it out here. You can see it's a really nice shade match. It's just blending right into that skincare and just kind of giving me a little bit of illumination and smoothing me out. I think I am gonna just pat this in with my fingertips, like the warmth, they always say, the warmth of your fingertips. Patting this stuff in is sometimes the ticket. Sometimes the ticket. Raise your hand if you're an exclusive blender with just your tips. These tips. I mean, I think that is sometimes the absolute way to go. Because, you know, the beauty blender, when you're in a hurry, is fantastic. But, you know, it picks up product. And honestly, I know the pros are all about their brush sets, you know, and using their brushes. But I much prefer blending in my creamy products with a with either just my fingertips or a beauty blender sponge of some sort. I'm less a fan of brushes. However, I love brushes to lay down powder and go over the creams with. That's just me. All right, tiny bit, because like I said, I'm going to be leaning in. Now, I did pull this out, so let's use it. Let's get this could be, I don't know where we're going with this, folks, but we're going to, and that is entirely too much, but we're going to see where it goes. This is such a nice color. I love that. This is entirely too much, but we're going to go over that concealer that I just did, and we're going to go down here so you can see this color match. Because they say that, you know, blending down here is the best location on your face to see if you're matching that area that hits your, you know, your jawline to your neck. So let's just blend it in. Again, I'm just smoothing myself out because I plan on leaning in a fair amount in this video to showcase some of those Makeup Forever lip liners that I got in the Stellar bundle. I love it. Can I just keep saying Stellar bundle, please? I love it. All right, here we go. A little bit of a base that we have set up. I'm going to go over it with some powder, maybe a little bit of creamy contour. I can't help it. I'm hitting my chin, but I know that we're going to end up taking anything off that does hit in this lip contour area. But I can't help it. It's muscle memory. It's making me go back there. So there you have it. You know, I did mention in a recent video, my last video that I did, that I want to round up another giveaway. And I have identified another I identified another giveaway package, and I am going to announce it this weekend, and it's going to be from the Glow Recipe family. So if you're a fan of Glow Recipe, tune into my next video, which I will drop here in the next couple of days. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel, comment in that video, and you will be in the running to win a nice Glow Recipe bundle. All right, there we go. A little bit smoothed out. Still have a ton on my hand, but I don't feel like I need any more. That's what I like about this Makeup Forever foundation here, the HD Glow. It really goes on feeling, you know, quite light. You know, it's not thick and cakey, but I feel like it does give a really nice, like, light to medium coverage base. And as my skin continues to age, vintage, more and more vintage, I just feel like, you know, it can't sustain. It sustains less and less of a product like a foundation. I've mentioned that before, you know, that's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. So, aging, that is. So let's see. What do we got? Oh, we got it good enough? No, we gotta pull this thing out for nothing either. Let's go in and get some of these deeper shades and just give a little tiny bit of warmth to the face. I was gonna use my L'Oreal Glotion today, but then I thought, no, dig around a little bit, find some Makeup Forever, and make the magic happen. Not that I'm a wizard or anything. All right, so what do we want? What color do we want? Can you use my popsicle stick? Trick I learned when I took my makeup course last year. Teacher gave me a ton of these little sticks when I left. I love them because you can just use them to dig into the product, right? You take your sponge. So there's my product. You take your sponge and you just work it down. Oops, I lost a little bit. That happens. Work it down the stick, right? So it's really smoothed out. And then you can go in and just apply a little bit. I'm going to go on my lids. I love it. You can really, really control the amount of product you're putting on using a method like this, but you don't necessarily need a popsicle stick. So I use the tip of my sponge to just kind of like put it in the areas that I wanted to get it in. And now I'm going to flip my sponge around to the more rounder end and just smooth it out so it's not, you know, all patchy patch. And then we'll put on a little bit of powder and then go in and start using the star of the show. Going back in again. See, look, I could go right on right on the tip, right? And it's not, and I'm really have a good feel of how much product I'm putting on my face because I'm such a fan of, you know, getting away with the minimal amount of product possible when I do my get readies so that it's an easy face wash at the end of the day. I'm not putting a ton of goop into my pores, and my face lives to wear makeup another day, right? That's just me though. I sure can appreciate a full beat though when I see other people putting it on. So, you know, if you're at home and you're like, what is she talking about? I can't even tell she's wearing any makeup. Well, to each is their own. That's all I have to say. All right, there it is. Tiny, tiny, tiny bit of powder before we get into these lip liners. Let's go in with this. Is a lovely shade. Let's see, what colors are these anyway? Ah, worn off. Not even I can't even tell you. It looks to me like it's fallen in like a deep rose sort of category. Let's go in with a P. Louise angle brush and whoo, quite the fallout, and put a little bit there on the cheeks. That's nice. Of course, I do need to blend that out a little bit. Again, it's looking a little patchy on the first go. Let's put some on the forehead and the nose, and I'm actually going to drag some down under my chin. Looking a little, so I can either take like this end of my brush and kind of fan it out like that, or I could take more of like a big, huge, fluffy fluff brush and kind of go like that. So, I mean, a couple of different options there. Not that this video is about brushes, but since I just cleaned my brushes and have quite a few at my disposal, why not use them? All right, there we go. Gonna go back in over with the Beauty Blender. We're gonna give it a little bit of a spray. I have my Charlotte Tilbury airbrush filter, but I can reach my Until Dawn from one size. This is a fantastic spray. Probably, I'm not telling you anything that you don't know. Lots of people swear by this one size Until Dawn spray. Stuff isn't moving around. All right, there we go. That's it. That's all we're doing with the face. Let's get into the lip liners because we don't have a lot of time left. Well, I guess time is infinite as long as we're here on this planet. But I don't want to keep you forever. All right, a tiny, tiny bit on the brows. Why not? You talked me into it since I just was going on in my last video about having them recently threaded and having a nice shape and deciding to give up on future lamination. Oh, whoops, totally misdrew. Future lamination. By the way, the Summer Fridays, Nothing is Pilling. Well, I think she did do a nice job shaping those brows. But yeah, again, lamination and tinting, throwing the money down the toilet because it's such a temporary solution, especially tints, because those really don't last that long. I just realized we didn't put any setting powder underneath my eyes. So I'm going to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury. I'm going to go and use my tiny, tiny, tiny little beauty sponge here. And I'm just going to put a tiny bit in and around my eye area. And then we have to get in with these pencils because it's time. It is time, my friends. It's time to start doing some lip lining. Again, in beauty school, teacher told me that lips are always last. So here we are. I'm finally following the rules. 5 different lip liners. Oh boy, hang in there with me, my friends. Let's go. I have them all sitting in front of me. I'm just going to I am going to do the berry one last because I did do a trial with these. Okay, I'm not that impromptu. I'm not that much of a loosey-goosey here, although I am pretty much on cut. I did test these things out and wiped them off. So we're going to do the berry last because that might stain my lips a little bit. But let's first go in with the Anywhere Caffeine. Like I said, this shade right here, Anywhere Caffeine, this plays so well. I have this in the full size. This plays so well with so many different shades of lippy. You can just really make this work. I can see why it is, you know, one of their best selling shades. There it is. Listen, this is really loosey-goosey because we have a lot to get through. And, you know, lip lining is not my forte. All right. And if I'm looking above the camera because I'm an amateur, as I always self-admit to, it's just simply because I'm looking in the mirror behind the camera, trying to do my best to slap this on to give you a sense of, you know, what the liner shade is. We could go a little bit down there. What the shade looks like before I go ahead and go over it. I have pulled out some tools to help me here, although I might grab a beauty blender. You know, I've got some of my favorite Q-tips that are like this, and they've got the pointy end, so we can, you know, try to clean this up. And wait until we wipe these things off. I pulled out my very most favorite makeup remover aid. It's from Shawasu. No, sorry. It's from Shiseido. And it is an instant eye and lip makeup remover. Wait until you see how fantastic this stuff's going to be. All right, so that was Anywhere Caffeine, and I'm going to pair it with a Lancome. With the Lancome, I love this. Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh, it's here, down here. Wait. Ha! There we go. It's in the shade, the Lancome shade is Unspoken Feelings. That's sad. Here we go. This is, again, I'm pairing this with the Makeup Forever. And you can see that this Unspoken Feelings from Lancome is pinkier than this brown that I used with the Anywhere Caffeine. But like I said, the Anywhere Caffeine really does play well with a lot of different shades. So it's just what I chose to, you know, to match it up with. These lip liners are so darn versatile. There it is. Nice little Anywhere Caffeine paired up with Unspoken Feelings from Lancome. I'll lean in. There's going to be my nose contour area. It is so red. Please ignore it. This is what you got here at the GenX Glam Gab channel. This is raw beauty. Let's go in with the Shiseido. Let's remove it because that was the whole point of the video. I do hope that you've hung in this far because I didn't mean to bury the lead here, the star of the show. There, it's coming off quite well at the end of the video, but I did want to do a little bit of a face. And I think that the Makeup Forever that I used today, the foundation, the blush, I think it looks quite nice. Even the tiny bit of a product I used from my all over face palette, which you can get a knockoff of this on Amazon for pennies, not for pennies, but oh, speaking of Amazon, I was trying to check when is their next big sale. Their next big sale is going to be around American Thanksgiving. So, and it says that it's like something called Turkey's 5. I wonder if that means like the 5 days in and around. How'd I do? Did I get enough off for us to go to the next color? The 5 days in and around Thanksgiving, perhaps they will, they're gonna, it's supposed to be 70% off the site, off Amazon. So probably not everything, but a lot of things. So that's kind of exciting. I was talking to Dawn. Not literally talking, but talking through the comments. I like to do that. And Dawn was asking me about Tear. Like, what did I think about Tear? Made me pull out my Tear Cushion Foundation. I have 2 shades, actually. And I like my Tear. I did a video on, I wore it to play tennis. Tear is a super fun, you know, it's full coverage, but it feels kind of lightweight on your face. But I said to Dawn, wait a little bit more and see when Amazon's next big sale is before you get your Tear if you're going to try it, which I do recommend folks try it. All right, let's go in with ForEver Walnut. I also have this one in the full size, like it a lot. Oh, did we get everything off? All right, we're going to go in and swatch it. There you go. There's ForEver Walnut. It is very close to the shade of Anywhere Caffeine, and that's probably why when I, you know, purchased another full size of Makeup ForEver, I went with this shade because like I said at the top of the video, I'm a fan of the browns. I just am. I'm going to try to get it I mean, so you can see it. So I'm going to do a little bit of overlining, which means I'm going a tiny bit outside the lines of my lip area, but I just want you to be able to see it. And it really does look a lot like the Anywhere Caffeine. And what am I pairing it up with? I pulled out two things. Ooh, this one's got a little bit of something on it. I swear I make the biggest mess when I make these videos. Totally do. Here is a little bit of a Clinique lip gloss. You don't have, like, you know, the thing, let's talk about there's the lip gloss from Clinique, and then here's going to be a lip gloss from NARS, which is, I think, what we're going to go in with, because it's a little bit, there's the lip gloss from NARS. Look at it next to the lip liner. We're going with this. You don't have to use a lip liner, right, exclusively with lipstick. That's just, let's look at POV Beauty. All right, wow, this is a really nice lip liner. I forgot how fantastic it is. Again, from NARS. Look at POV Beauty, who's just launched some color lip kits, and the whole thing with the lip kits is matching up lip liners with pretty much a gloss, a lip oil, her Ampit formula. By the way, I went on, look at that. All right, I'm leaning in. That's quite nice. By the way, I went on POV Beauty just to see how those things were doing. 3 of the 6 shades POV Beauty lip kits are sold out, okay? And interestingly enough, they're the 3 lightest shades. So the shades that she has left on her website are her like dark brown, her berry, and her red. So I don't know, do with what you like with that data bite of information, but it's very clear that the lighter shades are sold out like that, and she really only has her darker shades left. We almost have all that off. We're getting ready to move on. We have a couple of minutes left before this turns into a really long video. It's already a really long video, but let's use my favorite lippy. We're going in with my Clinique Think Bronze. I've been using this literally. Okay, I'm 52. Easily, yeah, in my 20s. So 30 years. 30 years. And Clinique's still making it. Where's I have it. Why am I going into my drawers? I have drawers here. Because I have, before I left Canada, another purchase that I made was to buy myself a new Think Bronze with my PC Optimum points before I left. Sorry, I couldn't find the box. Sometimes I get a little bit impulsive here at my glam station, and I don't know why I had the urge to dig that out. But I do have a brand new Think Bronze stuff. It has a great shelf life. All right, we're going in with Endless Cocoa. Again, this is gonna definitely be darker. Even with my amateur drawing, you should be able to see that this is much darker than the previous Anywhere Caffeine and Wherever Walnut. Let's go in with the swatch. That's in the brown family, my friends. I really like this color, and I just love the fact that I can test this out in a mini without buying like a huge full size, because honestly, I don't know if I would have been brave enough to buy this dark of a brown in a full size. All right, I gotta go down a little bit more down there. All right, here we go. What am I pairing it up with? I am pairing it up with, I already told you, Think Bronze. All right, let's crank this out. Here is my Think Bronze with the Cocoa, Endless Cocoa. Did it say Endless? I can't remember. Yes, Endless Cocoa. Look at that. That's nice. Do you like it? I kind of like that shade matched up. I had to use my Think Bronze because any excuse I have to use my Think Bronze, I'm there. I'm always thinking, how can I use my Think Bronze in a video? You know where I also like to use my Think Bronzes, like right on. Has a little bit of a cheek picker-upper. How are my lips doing, you're wondering? They're taking a little bit of a hit from all of this application, removal, and reapplication, but I'm going to treat them to an exfoliation later, so not to worry. We have 2 more shades to get through. I think this is the deepest shade of the 5. This is called a Limitless Brown. We're going in with it. Look at that. Did you see like how dark this is? Check it out. There's the Limitless, the Limitless Brown. Again, that was the Cocoa, Endless Cocoa Limitless Brown. This is definitely the darkest shade, and you can see that. Again, would I be brave enough to buy the darkest shade in a full size? Probably not. I wish I would have done a better job with this. I am getting a little bit nervous because we're going pretty long on this video, and I have no idea what your attention span is, my friends. But if you're still hanging in there, bless you. We're going to pair this with the Kosas Fantasy Life, and it's quite light. So you're going to see the contrast with what kind of a light lipstick, how it matches up with one of the darker shades of the lip liner. This is when we're going to need to get out a tool. Give myself a really good, like, smush it around. Use my little bit of a tool. Like together, I think that looks very nice. And if you really wanted to, you could go over it with a bit of a gloss. Like this is from Milk. Like you really get. It's all about the contrasting, right? We used the darkest liner out of the bunch, kind of a very lightish nude lipstick. And this has almost got like a pink to it, this Milk lip gloss. And there was the result. It's quite nice. I think it's quite nice, but I'm biased. I'm the one sitting here making the choices. You can comment and let me know what your favorite shade was. There it is, all coming off. All right, lastly, let's get into the berry because I really got to get out of here. Holy toot Meyer Jones. We have been hanging out for a little bit, my friends. Hanging out for a little bit. And like I said, I did save the berry for last because it does tend to leave a little bit of color on my lips because of the lippies that I chose to pair it up with. But let's go in. Here is the last color we're looking at. Boundless Berry. I love all this endless, wherever, limitless. Now we're boundless berry. There it is. Let's draw it in. It's definitely the pinkest pink of the bunch, right? But you know, if you're gonna have yourself a pinkish sort of lip liner, let it be in the berry shade, because berry, you can work a lot with berry. You can, all kinds of different combinations you can use. All right, let's go in with this Lancome. We're going to go in with Exotic Orchid. This is another one where I think I have to press it. Yeah, there we go. Here's the Exotic Orchid. There's the lippy that's going with it. Let's put it on. And I did pull out a lip oil to go over it in the berry family from Guerlain. That's a little bit berry for me. I have to have the right outfit to pull this off, but let's go in with some Kiss Kiss Lavender Glow from Guerlain to finish this off. Oh, I love this bendy, oversized applicator. Guerlain, you're so lovely. All right, there, it just gives it a little bit. That is pink, my friends, and there you have it. We've gone through all 5 shades. We've gone through all 5 shades. I like the little bit of makeup base that I put on today. I hope that you've enjoyed hanging out. I enjoyed hanging out with you. I'll see you in the next video. And the next video is going to be a giveaway video. Hang in there. It's going to be a really, really nice bundle from Glow Recipe. Take care. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're good. I hope you're fine. I hope your family's fine. And now I'll say see you in the next video.